Hey, welcome back to the Travel Review Crew. Well, hubby and I are celebrating our 20th anniversary and we decided to take a trip to Vancouver Island and we're taking you along with us. Up next. After some smooth sailing in the airs, we finally arrived in Victoria. Our first stop, of course, was the Heathstone Artisan Bakery, which apparently has the best Nanaimo bar in Nanaimo. Target acquired. More on that in a minute. After about 2 hours of driving, we arrived in Parksville to stay at our first hotel, the Bayside Ocean Resort. This spacious oceanfront balconied room had a king-size bed and all the amenities you need in a hotel room. Our room was situated just above the hotel restaurant, which is the roof you see there. However, the views, as you can tell, are still pretty magnificent. When we first arrived, we really just wanted to take advantage of the scenery, and so we decided to take this well-manicured path all the way down to the beach. Now that we had a view, time for the taste test. It's good? But is it the best Nanaimo bar ever? From Nanaimo?
I think it is.
Good. That was a good brownie. What we really liked about this hotel was that it was not only clean looking, but it had a number of art from local artisans. This hotel also offered a restaurant on site and an outdoor patio if you wanted to really enjoy that. If you're into wine, there's a number of selections on their wine list from British Columbia. But I gotta say, these views were pretty nice to watch the sunset too. I referred to this earlier, but the food here was absolutely delicious, and while a little on the pricey side, was completely and utterly worth the meal. It was delicious. When we woke up the next morning, we saw that it was a really low tide and decided to just go for a walk. We kept thinking and saying how much our kids would have loved exploring this seaside resort. And whether you have kids or not, honestly, it's a great place to stay. And who doesn't like a seal first thing in the morning sunning themselves on a rock? Pretty awesome. Checking out at the Bayview Hotel, we're heading towards Ucluelet and decided to stop off at Cathedral Grove to go for a walk. This old forest is a must-do, but be warned, this is a very popular spot and parking can be a problem, so the earlier you get here, the better it will be for you. As you can see, these paths are well manicured and for the most part are very accessible. And there's zero cost to coming here. You just park your car and hop on in. After checking out the trees, we were getting a bit hungry, so we stopped off in Port Alberni at the Bare Bones Fish House and Smokery. Whether you just want an appetizer, a salad, a fish and chip, or you want to go whole hog, if you will, on the smoked platters, this restaurant has that for you. I went with the brisket, with the Parmesan fries, and hubby went with the meal for two barbecue. With our stomachs full, we decided to take a walk around Port Alberni and then hop back in the car to head to Ucluelet. About an hour and a half later, we arrived in Ucluelet at the Black Rock Resort. We stayed in room 215, which is the Pacific Spirit Suite. And while we will be doing a full video on this particular resort and this room, we wanted to give you some highlights of what we saw when we first got there. Let's check this out, baby.
Wow.
Now this is living. Wow.
Holy cow.
This is pretty fantastic.
That's crazy, man.
Sorry, that was pretty effing fantastic. Wow. This is insane. Like, I'm sorry, but what?
Wow, amazing.
Yeah. The rest of this unit did not disappoint, with enormous space and fantastic amenities. And the views were everywhere and were absolutely stunning. If you've never stayed at this resort, this is a must-do resort. A bucket list resort, if you will. You gotta try it here. It's awesome. And in our more comprehensive video, you'll get all the information on the Currents restaurant. The food there was spectacular. The next day we had high hopes to see either orca or humpbacks with Jamie's out of Ucluelet. It was a lot of fun, even though it set us back about $300 for the trip. We got to see sea lions. And we got to see really cute sea otters. And we even got lucky and got to see humpback.
Oh, wow.
Nice. The next day we headed to Tofino, to the Pacific Sands Beach Resort. This pretty large and sprawling resort has a number of different room types for different budgets. You can rent bicycles here, you can rent surfboards, you can learn to surf. It's a pretty neat place. You can grab your morning coffee at the beach shack or a snack of some sort. And for lunch, just head on over to the Surfside Grill where they have fish and chips, and I had the fish tacos, which were delicious. Tuff City Saunas is its own company separate from the Pacific Sands, and therefore if you want to use these, you will have to book through their website. They did look interesting. At the Pacific Sands, we stayed at the Sunset Point Suites, which is, as you can see, an open style, kind of bachelor style, king size room. This kitchen made it really convenient to make inexpensive meals for ourselves while we stayed here. But the main reason you book this room is this right here. Private patio, beautiful Adirondack chairs, overlooking and listening to the ocean. And a private hot tub doesn't hurt either, which we did get to enjoy. And this resort is located in a tsunami zone, so should the tsunami alarm go off, there are some very clear instructions on where to go if that were to happen. Honestly, some of our favorite time here was just walking the beach and exploring. This property also boasts a number of paths, which were so fun to explore, especially at low tide.
So close here.
Oh my God.
Look at them all.
Wow.
Whew. Mother load.
Now tell me in the comments, would you be brave enough to go swimming in the Pacific in September along with those surfers? And did you know that the Pacific Sands has a live cam? We put the link down below. But while you're there, you can say hi to the family. The next day we explored the Pacific Rim National Park and did a bit of hiking. We checked out the Rainforest Trail, both A and B loops. These paths are mostly manicured or boardwalks, but they do require your ability to climb stairs, so not accessible for all. There's pretty much something for every nature lover out here, whether it's someone who's into botany and checking out the various different plants that exist here that don't exist anywhere else in Canada, or checking out the wildlife, like our friend here, Doug, the slug. After our walk in the rainforest, we decided to stop at Incinerator Rock. And if you need to use the restrooms, this is a pretty good place to do that. Checking out this beach at low tide, mid-morning with the fog rolling in and the mist was pretty magical. Welcome to Tofino. Not a very big town, but there are some interesting sights. Plenty of stores and restaurants if you just want to grab a quick bite to eat. We parked the car and just took a walked along the waterways and checked out all the stores. House of Himwitsa, a must-do in Tofino, and we grabbed a quick lunch at the Shed. We had burgers. They were okay. I didn't particularly like the gluten-free bun that came with mine. I think next time I'll go with one of the bowls that's on the menu. Spent a lot of time just enjoying the seaside, watching the seaplanes take off and land, and just taking in the atmosphere of Tofino. And if you appreciate Indigenous art like I do, the Roy Henry Vickers Gallery is a must-do when in Tofino. There was no shortage of art to enjoy in this location, and it's artwork that you could buy and take home with you if you so desired. So I was disappointed that this restaurant was not open for lunch, but if you ever get the opportunity to eat at the shelter, I'm telling you the food here is really good. And the views are unmatched because the restaurant is on that pier that you're looking at right now. And as we check out of Tofino, we head to Victoria to stay at the Delta Victoria Oceanpoint Resort. It's a basic king-size room with pretty much every basic amenity that a hotel room requires. It didn't have a safe, which kind of bothered me, but they do have the ability to lock things at the front desk, which I did take advantage of when we went out for daily excursions. The views from this 6th floor room were quite nice. I originally had been given a 3rd floor room, was not happy with the view, and the hotel accommodated me as best they could. One thing on the 6th floor that was pretty nice was this observation deck, and we most certainly took advantage of enjoying the views from there. We happened to mention that it was our 20th anniversary, and they complimented us with this beautiful plate of treats and an awesome sparkling non-alcoholic wine, because we don't drink, Bottega fruit juice. It was awesome, and we took it to the 6th floor deck to enjoy it. And on our last full day in Victoria, we decided to go to the East Sooke Regional Park to take advantage of the sights and sounds of the ocean, and decided that we would take the coastal trail. Lots of little rocky areas to just sit and enjoy the views while you eat or whatever. That's kind of nice. Oh, yeah. Nice. I like how they put the little arrow. Path is this way. Yeah, but look at this. You can sit on this rock. Could you imagine if you saw orca coming in here? You could just sit here and watch them. Amazing. Up until we got to the petroglyphs, this path was just technical enough to make it really interesting and fun. Beyond the petroglyphs, all the way to Beachy Point, it gets quite technical in spots. So unless you're an avid hiker, you have strong skills already, decent shoes, and some hiking poles, I would not recommend you attempt this. If you have the basic level of fitness you need for this trail and all of the equipment, let me tell you, this trail is beautiful. Up. All right. You got to keep your eyes open when you're on this trail, because when you're alongside this waterway, there's all sorts of opportunity to see nature at work. Look how close they are. Oh my goodness. Even so, I did some serious damage to my knee that requires medical attention after this particular hike. I don't regret it. It was awesome, and I would do it again. After that hike and a knee brace, we headed to the downtown core again to go to the Fishhook restaurant. This restaurant was seen on You Gotta Eat Here on television. We came purposely to have the salmon, fish, and chips because they're gluten-free, and we had to try them. I had the halibut because I wanted to try those, and Ralph went ahead and got the salmon, fish, and chips, and they were both delicious. Food was good, service was friendly. Highly recommend. After a well-deserved sleep, we decided to go to the Lure restaurant located at the Delta. I had the Benedict with gluten-free toast, and Ralph had the Lure hash, which is smoked trout with the smoked salmon. Both meals were very good. If you've never been to Vancouver Island, I highly recommend that you plan a trip to see this beautiful landscape. There's something for everyone on this island, and it is unmatched compared to any other place in Canada. For specific links, please see the description down below to all the places we went to, and there'll be more videos coming out about this trip to give you more detail, especially about the hotels we stayed at. Thanks for watching the Travel Review Crew. We'll see you on the next adventure.